Good morning, evening, afternoon, dear Warpath players around the globe. Hendrik here. In this video, we'll talk a little bit about units lineup. So first of all, I want to say that there's no such thing as strongest lineup, but only the ones that fits you the best. So for example, if you're a PvE heavy player who love pushing campaigns, then infantry, super heavy tanks, and double howitzer is highly recommended. And if you're a PvP player who is confident with your micro, then light and medium tanks may suit you better. You can use them to attack enemies' weak spot like a reinforcement line or howitzer without protection. However, a howitzer is still recommended so that when enemy is trying to attack your base, you will at least have some sort of defense, not a complete empty base, you know. And if you're someone who loves macro and strategy, a lineup like super heavy tank, double howitzer, plus supportive units like infantry may fit you better. During base versus base fight, you are the only one who can take out enemy bases and hold the front line easily. However, if you want to attack someone further from your base, you need to call your friends who has light tanks and medium tanks as escort. Alright, now some of you may have noticed that we have 5 barracks in Warpath, and the recommendations above are not complete yet. And you're right, since very rare amount of players can max everything within days, most players will have to decide which unit to develop first, and having other units as backups and camp buff providers. In Warpath, if you are having several units in your barracks with the same camp, you'll receive a buff related to the number of those units. For example, if you have 2 units from the same camp, both of these units will get a 2% buff for attack damage and damage resistance. If you have 3 within the same camp, then the buff goes up to 4%, 4 units for 8%, 5 units for 15%, and 6 units for 18%. Please be aware that the Air Force units also count when calculating those buffs, and that's why we have buff for 6 units within the same camp. In this case, if you decided to go for Liberty light tanks as main unit, you can use other Liberty units as support, like 1 howitzer to guard your base, 1 Liberty bomber, 1 Liberty heavy tank to serve as buff providers, etc, etc. You don't need to level up these supportive units too much, since you might change them someday. Speaking of lineup for Air Force, we highly recommend you to have at least 1 fighter plane to protect you and your alliance members from bomber attacks, and using other air units as buff provider to your strongest ground units. Fighter planes can also help you with events like paratrooper invasions. You can check all the details about units and camp buffs in Assembly Workshop. And just to make things clear, this video is mostly made for new players and is just a friendly recommendation. And for veteran players, you're encouraged to test and build your own unique lineups and strategies. Shall you have any questions and recommendations about units and lineups for Warpath? I ask you please to share your awesome ideas in the comment section below to help more Warpath players out there. Alright, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the battlefield.